Before starting this session, I would like to ask a question. Have you heard about API before? Any one of you had worked with APIs or have just heard about the term API? Great. No problem behind. Yes. Yeah, so that's great. That's great. So now I would like to ask one more question. Have you heard about Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter? Have you heard about this? Yeah. I believe all of us have heard this, right? In fact, almost all of us can't imagine of our lives without at least any one of them. So many developers in this world, and even I also believe that after 5 to 10 years, you will not meet a single developer who can think of his life without working with APIs, right? So now you can imagine how important API is for us. So without any further delay, let's get started. So first thing first, what is an API? Right? Yeah, right, Satyam Sarvagia. Application Programming Interface. API stands for Application Programming Interface. So in technical terms, what is an API? So basically, an API is a set of rules that specifies how two software systems should communicate with each other, right? Now, I would like to give an example. Let's suppose you are a customer at a restaurant, right? So, when you want to order a food, you don't go directly into the kitchen, right? What you will do instead, you will sit on the table, you will wait for the waiter to come, or you will ask the waiter to come, then you will give your order to the waiter, and then give he will transmit your order to the kitchen, and then the food is being made in the kitchen, like, and then the waiter will take the food from the kitchen and then get back to your request. What you have ordered, he will get back to you on your table, right? So imagine in this situation, you are the client and the kitchen is the server, and the waiter which is taking your order and transmitting it to the kitchen. This is working like an API, right? So till now, anyone have any doubts in understanding APIs? Please let me know in the chat section. Yeah. So ये तो हो गई मेंटोर जिंदगी, राइट? As are you comfortable in Hindi, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah. तो ये तो हो गई मेंटोर जिंदगी कि हाँ हम गए, जो हमने ऑर्डर किया वही एग्जैक्टली रेस्टोरेंट से आ गया। एक लेट मी टेल यू अ स्टोरी। एक क्या हुआ था कि मैं और मेरे एक फ्रेंड गए थे नॉर्मल रोल खाने के लिए, ठीक है, रेस्टोरेंट में। तो वो नॉन वेज, वो वेज है, वेजिटेरियन है, और मैं नॉन वेज हूँ। तो हमने दो रोल ऑर्डर किया। एक था चिकन रोल और एक था आपका पनीर रोल, ठीक है। तो वेटर आया, हमने उसे ऑर्डर किया। उसने ऑर्डर लेके किचन में गया। किचन में क्या बन रहा है? एक वेज रोल और एक एक पनीर रोल और एक चिकन रोल, राइट? अब वहां से किचन से वेटर लेकर आता है हमारे पास, और तब तक वो मेरा दोस्त किसी और टेबल पर बैठ चुका था। तो उसने क्या किया, वो मुझे पनीर रोल दे दिया, और मेरे फ्रेंड को, जो कि वेजिटेरियन है, उसे चिकन रोल दे दिया। सो ऑल्दो किचन में जो चीज बनना चाहिए था वही बना, बट एपीआई के मिसकम्युनिकेशंस की वजह से एक बेचारे वेजिटेरियन को नॉन वेजिटेरियन चीज सामने आ गया। तो आपको यहाँ से समझ में आ सकता है कि हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट एपीआई इज, राइट? एपीआई जितने इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो चीज जितनी जरूरत होती है, जितनी इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, उसमें इम्तिहान भी उतना ज्यादा होता है। तो दैट्स व्हाई एपीआई टेस्टिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट। बिफोर राइटिंग योर कोड, you should write API testing. So, Sanskriti, can you please change the slides? Yeah. here comes the part API testing. So basically, there are different types of API testing, right? So there are functional testing, UI testing, unit testing, and few more. So in this session, I will be discussing about unit testing. So unit testing in technical terms is a software testing technique that involves testing individual units or components of an application in isolation from the rest of the application. लेट मी गिव यू एन एग्जांपल सपोज आप एक सिविल इंजीनियर है तो आप जब एक बिल्डिंग 5 स्टोरेज बिल्डिंग अगर आप बना रहे हैं तो सबसे पहले आप बेसमेंट्स तैयार करेंगे और आप इंश्योर करेंगे कि वो बेसमेंट मजबूत है या नहीं है दो आपके पास आपका आइडिया पूरा बिल्डिंग का पहले से रेडी है बट फिर भी आप पहले एक कंपोनेंट को चेक करेंगे फिर फर्स्ट फ्लोर पे जाएंगे फिर सेकंड फ्लोर पे जाएंगे छोटा छोटा यूनिट्स को चेक करेंगे है ना सो यूनिट टेस्टिंग भी कुछ इसी तरह का है कि आपका एक बहुत बड़ा एप्लीकेशन है बहुत बड़ा एक कोड है जो कि इंटरनली बहुत कुछ कर रहा है बट आप जब टेस्ट करेंगे तो छोटी छोटी पार्ट्स छोटी छोटी यूनिट्स छोटी छोटी कंपोनेंट्स को टेस्ट करेंगे दिस इज बेसिकली यूनिट टेस्टिंग so why we do unit testing the goal of unit testing is to validate that each unit of the application is working as we want them to work right so it's important to write quality unit tests as they represent the basis of all kinds of automation tests so basically टेस्ट लिखने का ना दो तरीका होता है दो मेथड्स होता है एंड वी कॉल देम टीडीडी एंड बीडीडी so what a TDD is and what BDD TDD stands for test driven development and BDD stands for business driven development both are software development testing methodologies that involve writing test before you writing test the code for the code before you write the code itself कोड लिखने से पहले कोड का टेस्ट केसेस लिखना ये मेथड है टीडीडी और बीडीडी सो इन दोनों में डिफरेंट क्या है सो टीडीडी मेक श्योर दैट वट एवर यू आर बिल्डिंग इन द राइट वे एंड बीडीडी मेक श्योर दैट are you building the right whatever you are building are you building the right product or not सिंपल है बीडीडी मेक श्योर करता है कि क्या आप सही चीज बना रहे हैं या नहीं और टीडीडी मेक श्योर करता है कि क्या आप जो चीज भी बना रहे हैं वो सही तरीके से बना रहे हैं या नहीं so there are basically many tools that we use to write these test cases and these tools are cucumber.js mocha mockito and there's many more so या तो अब तक हमने ये देखा कि सिंपली एपीआईज कितना इंपॉर्टेंट होता है आने वाले वक्त में और कितने इंपॉर्टेंट हो सकता है क्यों हमें सीखना चाहिए एपीआई और दूसरा हमने देखा कि जो चीज जितना इंपॉर्टेंट होता है उस चीज का ऊपर इम्तिहान भी वैसा ही आता है तो इसलिए हमें टेस्टिंग एपीआई टेस्टिंग करना जरूरी है अब एपीआई टेस्टिंग में बहुत सारे डिफरेंट पार्ट्स हमने देख लिया कि हाँ फंक्शनल ये वो बट यूनिट टेस्टिंग जो है उसके बारे में आज हमने डिस्कस किया कि यूनिट टेस्टिंग क्या होता है यूनिट टेस्टिंग और फिर मेथड्स के बारे में डिस्कस किया कि टीडीडी होता है और बीडीडी होता है वो क्या होता है कि कोड लिखने से पहले कोड लिखने का तरीका है ना तो आप ऐसे सोचिए ना कि आप एक कोड भी लिखेंगे और उस पर से उसके लिए टेस्ट केसेस भी लिखेंगे तो थोड़ा हेक्टिक हो जाता है ये एक प्रॉब्लम है जिसको सॉल्व कर रहा है केप्लॉय हियर कम्स इनटू द पिक्चर केप्लॉय नाउ आई वुड लाइक टू गिव द स्टेज टू संस्कृति एंड वी विल टेल एवरीथिंग अबाउट केप्लॉय थैंक यू
या ओके तो काफी सारा लोड हो जाता है व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग ऑन द डेवलपमेंट एंड आल्सो writing test cases simultaneously to test if all the parts of your development and the code is working very fine. तो मैनुअल प्रोसेस काफ़ी सारा इन्वॉल्व है इसमें in order to eliminate that thing automation is required. And if you might have heard about the term DevOps, it is famous for turning most of your tasks into an automated one. So, in order to do that, in order to generate automated test cases, we have a tool called Keploy, which is associated with Cloud Native Computing Foundation, and it is responsible for making E2E testing easy for developers. Now, how does it do that? So, if you have heard about APIs, then you might also know what API calls are. तो अगर आपने RESTful APIs के साथ काम किया है, SOAP APIs के साथ काम किया है, या किसी भी तरह की APIs के साथ काम किया है, तो you might know that there are several components that are involved in it. One of the component is HTTP methods. So using HTTP methods like get, put, post, patch, and delete options header, you make requests, a certain type of request to the server, and the server responds you back with some of the resources that you might have requested for. So that is only called API calls, or you can say API request and response. What Keploy does is it mocks all the request and response that is made, and then generate automated test cases based on the API request and response that we have received. Now, there could be multiple scenarios that could be encountered while you're building an application, right? It could be, for example, that we have encountered in the restaurant example. You got a different order, but you were aiming for something different. So, in order to handle all of those errors and all of those exceptions, the test cases are necessary. और वही चीज रखने में टाइम चला जाता है. तो इस चीज को ऑटोमेट करने के लिए वी हैव Keploy that records the API request and response. Now I will just tell you one example how it does that. Suppose I am talking to a third party application or a third party resource. Let that be a database. I'm requesting for a piece of data from that database, and the database is responding me back with the request that I have sent for him. Now, I made a request and the database is giving me a response. What Keploy will do, it will record this communication between me and database, and whenever it will encounter similar request from any other user, then instead of approaching database to give the response, it will just replay the record thing that it has done. So this also saves the time and effort, and also you do not have to see much of the struggle to approach the database and see the lagging between the communication, because that sort of request has already been made and we are just replaying what response that we have received. This makes API testing to be done more accurately. And another feature of Keploy is that it mocks the data. It automates the mocking of the data. Now, जितना कठिन टेस्ट स्क्रिप्ट्स लिखना है, उतना कठिन मॉक्स लिखना भी होता है. और डेटा मॉक करने के लिए डेटा मॉक्स मतलब तुम्हारा कुछ पार्ट ऐसा क्लोन करना और उस पर टेस्टिंग परफॉर्म करना. So basically, what happens, I'll give you an example. Suppose I'm using an e-commerce application, let it be Amazon. So today I searched headphones in Amazon because I want to buy one. So the first result that I saw when the pop-up came out was from the brand called Bolt. You might have heard about it. And today I decided not to buy one. So I closed the application. Now, 1 week later, when I again developed that eager to buy a headphone, then I opened the application and again searched headphones. Today, the top result that I received was from the brand called Bolt. Sorry, the brand got bored. Now, 1 week before, when I searched for headphones, I got bored, and today I got bored. So that happened because the database is live, and every time the response is being changed, because Amazon's database is like huge, and with time there are certain factors involved that make changes to the results. Therefore, it keeps on changing upon your recommendations too, and also upon some market value and other factors involved. So doing API testing in such an environment is not an easy task. So what is done internally in Keploy is that you clone a mini part from the live database that you received in response, right? Keploy will do that. You do not have to do that. So Keploy will mini clone the response that it received from the live live database, and then on that mini clone part will be static now, and it will perform API testing over that static database. So that's how internally Keploy works. And with Keploy, you do not have to create any such environment to write your test scripts like you have to do in other platforms. So that's one beautiful feature of Keploy. You do not have to work extra in it. And with Keploy, before we were working only with UI, but now we are more developer centric. So we know that developer likes to deal with CLI rather than using that UI thing. So we have shifted majorly to the CLI part, and now just running a command called Keploy, you will be able to set up the Keploy server and run any of the sample application that is built on programming languages like Golang, Java, TypeScript, JavaScript, because we have available SDKs for these languages for now. And for Python, the work is still. So if you ever want to contribute over these languages, then you can head over to the Keploy organization, and there are various repositories that are solely dedicated to these SDKs and the sample applications built over these programming languages. You can definitely go ahead. If you find any issue with the Keploy server or with the documentation, you can create an issue in the GitHub. If you want to solve any type of issue, bug, or fix anything, then you can go ahead, make a pull request following all the guidelines. And if you are an open source person, you know how it is being done. And if not, we are here to guide you. Reach out to us at Slack. By joining Slack, we are here. We are there very active. If you encounter any such problem setting up Keploy or working with Keploy, then you can post your questions there. We are there to help you out. And that's a brief introduction of what Keploy does. And after this, I would like to move forward to one of our very special program from Keploy, that is an API fellowship program. So this program helps you know more about APIs in Keploy and help you build like a good figure um, uh, who has all the information about the APIs and can do good into the testing part and can motivate others for other to do. So the first phase on API fellowship, because creating the is learning by yourself. From the digital team, team, you're gonna be get issue about and how to create your CRUD application and how to integrate built applications and how to integrate Keploy tool for testing purposes. So you'll learn a lot in this phase, and receiving from this phase is an exclusive t-shirt from Keploy, a certificate future opportunities at Keploy. This could be anything like working in a Keploy community or being a part of. So the tag that you'll be receiving in this stage, because this is an initial what about Kepler. The learning could be in various forms. Will be so do join it. We'll share after I share about this scripture. This
I think she isn't audible anymore.
शायद नेटवर्क उसका चला गया है. We should wait for her maybe 2 minutes.
Sure, sure, sure. No worries.
Hi, so till where were you able to listen to me?
Till I think that badge. Okay, that uh, like the initial stage of the fellowship, where
Okay, the first phase, the learning
yep,
phase.
yeah,
Okay, okay. I'm really sorry. My network is creating some issues.
no, that's
So
completely fine.
okay, sorry for that. So, the second phase of the API Fellowship Program is about teaching. Now it's time to advocate whatever you have learned about APIs and how to create your CRUD application and integrating APIs to it and everything about testing. So, you're free to share anything about whatever you have learned into the communities and college and spread awareness about APIs and Keploy. So the perks that you will be receiving at this stage would be exclusive swag kit from Keploy and access to Keploy meetups, where you'll get to know more about the existing tools and how Keploy is different from them and how we can make Keploy better also. So the tag that you'll be receiving in this stage will be Keploy Fellow. The next stage is like the master of all, because this might be something that can help you personally. So it is the growth stage. So if in past if you have ever dreamed of having your own community established, and if you wanted that to be around APIs and around testing, then Keploy members or the Keploy team members will be really glad to help you out in setting up that community in your region or a global community, whatever you want. And how to grow that community will also be told by the team members, because they have a good experience and a good hands over this part. So the perks that we'll be receiving from this stage is mentorship and support from Keploy, and the tag that we'll be getting is a Keploy clan expert. So these were the three stages that you will be having in your Keploy API Fellowship program. So do take part in it if you are like keen enthusiast of APIs and testing. It will really help you out moving forward in order to learn further skills in your career. So that's that. And ahead of this, we have a special announcement. So I would just like to ask anyone if they are like interested in some sort of giveaway from our end, so that we could share the details of the same. And just write in the chat how excited you are. Pretty excited. Okay. Only Satyam is excited, I think. Shall we just give it to Satyam? Okay. Rohan is also waiting. Okay, Rahul. That's good. That's good. So I'll be sharing about the giveaway. I want a drum roll if Barkatul is with us. Can you give that sound?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So one, two, three, go.
Ta-da!
So this is the details about the giveaway. The first thing that you have to do is you have to start the main repository of Keploy, and I'll be sharing the repo with you. You can just go ahead and start us, because this is something that also motivates the developers and us to contribute more towards Keploy and build amazing thing around Keploy. So please, it would be like really helpful of you to try the Keploy out, and also star us to show that you are actually interested in it. So that's the first step to the giveaway. So I'll be keeping an eye upon the stargazers of Kepler repository, and I'll be watching you if you could have starred us or not. So yeah, I am having an eye upon the count. So do star it. It's just a click. Just write a +1 or a thumbs up in the chat so that we could know that you have starred us. Okay. By the way, we have just gained 6 stars till now from this session. Rahul is too much excited, it seems. Okay, in the meanwhile, I will share about the next step to the giveaway, and that's registering for Keploy API Fellowship, which we have like recently talked about what are the stages involved in it. And if you want to know more, you can just visit this website and click on Get Started and register for the Keploy API Fellowship. Okay, and the third step is writing about all of the key takeaways that you have taken from the session, writing about your learnings from the session, so that it would also let us know that whatever we talked about here made sense to you, and you can just tag us the Keploy is at the platforms called LinkedIn and Twitter. And you can use several hashtags like Keploy and Keploy API Fellowship so that we could find you easier by searching all of these hashtags, and we could know that you have posted all of your learnings so that we could also know that you were attentive throughout the session. And following all of these three steps will give us a giveaway winner. So, with the winner, will share a form, and we'll announce all the winners from all the sessions that we have taken till now in about a week. So that's that. But we will internally share the form with the winner by tomorrow or the after tomorrow. So, like, all the best to you all. Do follow all of the three steps in order to get a giveaway.
Yeah, we can wait till 9:30. If you don't have any GitHub accounts, please make sure to make it. And after
Yeah,
9:30, we will not take any submissions for giveaway.
you're welcome, Mallaban. Also, don't call us ma'am or sir or didi or bhaiya. You can just call us by our names. We have beautiful names.
And unique also.
Yeah,
Sanskriti, can you please change the slide so that they can take the
yeah.
screenshot?
You can take a screenshot and you can also post. I cannot turn my camera on because I'm sitting in dark.
No problem.
Okay, that is actually true. It's of like 9 letters and it takes time to pronounce. So You mean a nickname? I have a lot of nicknames. So, names that I wouldn't suggest you to call me by. You can just take a screenshot and then post it in LinkedIn or Twitter, tagging Keploy and using other hashtags. That will be great.
Thank you, Sanskrithi. Thank you.
You're welcome. Shall we drop our like LinkedIn profile, or you can share the post on LinkedIn or Twitter. You can also tag us. Let me just share my profile there. Here is my LinkedIn.
So how's the session? If you have any doubts, please ask us.
Yeah, yeah, do ask us.
And if you haven't participated for the giveaway, please participate. We have amazing swags to give you all.
All right, so I had just one thing to ask that usually for API test testing, I use a tool called Postman. So that essentially isn't like something you can integrate with like the code. So it's not a testing framework. It's a platform where you can test. So does Keploy help you to eliminate the need of testing frameworks like Chai, I mean Mocha, Chai, whatever?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. So basically, if you would have used Postman, then for testing you were required to write some test scripts in that is present in one of the field of it. But with Kepler, you do not actually have to write the test scripts. It will be automatically generated from the API calls that you make. So, and all of the details regarding that test case will also be stored in the format of YAML file in your local device also, and in the in the application that you are using these API calls under mocks. So the mocks are also being automated, and the test cases are also automated from your API calls. So you do not have to do some additional work like writing it out.
all right, thanks.
You're welcome.
So I think we should wrap. Right, Sanskrit.
Yeah, sure, we can. Okay, so it was great geeking out with you all, sharing about API, unit testing, and deploy. We hope that you learned a lot from the session. And if you did, then do several posts on LinkedIn and Twitter and tag us, letting us know that you learned a lot from this. And also register for Kepler API Fellowship. That will actually add a lot of learning to your journey in the testing and APIs too. So that's it from our end. Thank you for hosting us. It was a great time, and have a good evening ahead or a good night, whatever suits. So bye bye everyone.
Bye everyone. Thank you so much. It
Bye,
was great.
everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.